Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Class to Career podcast. Here we will discuss various career options we have and what's the path to get there. Today we will uncover product management in a tech company. You learn a lot about what is product management in tech company means, what classes you need to take, what kind of project you should be doing, and how you can accelerate your journey to become a product manager in a tech company. The way we will go about this is we are going to welcome a guest who has walked this journey, can help us understand what's the best way to do it, and we'll learn from his experience. So with that, let me welcome Prateek Gera. Prateek, welcome.
Hi, Amit.
So Prateek is a friend of mine for 30 plus years. Prateek is currently a product management leader at Google. Prior to that, he has been a founder. He has run and built startups, and he also has been an engineer. So he has really gone through that journey. We can learn a lot from his experience today. So with that, let's dive into product management. So Pratik, let's dive into your current work area, which is product management. Help our listeners. Mostly they are teenagers in high school. So like think of like 13 to 19-year-old students. So if they are not familiar with what product management in tech company means, so help them understand what a product management means. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? What kind of decisions you do? Who do you work with? Things like that, I think, would be really helpful for them to understand what product management is.
Yeah, product management in tech companies is a very interesting role, very impactful role. Yeah, and you help, if you're working for an employer, you help decide what kind of product should you build, who should you build for, how would you price the product, where you sell it. There are many decisions that are required to be made when you bring a product out to market to solve customer pain point or needs. Right. So that's what a product manager does. So you just not think about today's product launch, but you also think about next year or the year after. You also think about how is your product going to be better than what somebody else is offering in the market, so your product can be more accepted by the customers. And when you're doing this as a product manager, you work with a very big, varied set of roles and in the company. You would be working with engineers, you work with finance people, marketing, you work with legal, many different roles, because it requires ultimately input from many of these people to bring something out and be successful. I'll give an example. Like, let's say if you're a product manager at Apple in the iPhone division, and let's say Apple realizes that the iPhone is not doing very well for a certain segment of market or customers, which is the workers who work out in the field, right? So, and if you wanted to solve a problem for them, make iPhone more acceptable, what would you do to an iPhone? What kind of next iPhone variant would you launch? That would be decided by a product manager. Things like, should it have a longer battery life, much longer battery life? Should it be more tougher? Should be able to work in harsher conditions, like maybe higher temperatures or tolerate a drop, etc. And finally, maybe the colors also matter. Maybe the price has to be different. So all of the things are what the product manager would help decide. So it's a very interesting, very fulfilling role.
So it sounds like a general manager kind of a role where you are learning about either a white space in the market or a customer need, and then you're figuring it out internally. How do you fulfill that need? And to do that, looks like you work with a lot of people in the organization to make it happen. And it also sounded to me it's not what you're solving for today, but you're also solving for, like, let's say a few years out. What would the need be?
Yeah,
Okay,
you have
that's
to think all of those things.
okay. That sounds very interesting. So with that, let me, different people have different strengths and different passion, right? So if I have to, understand, like, do I have it in me to become a product manager? And of course, students evolve and they learn new things, but like, what are some of the basic characteristics one should look for within themselves, saying, okay, to become a good product manager, I need to have this kind of characteristics.
Yeah, great question. So product managers, to be a product manager, or if you are the right person, do you want to be a product manager or not? I guess there are a few things you can think about. One is, are you curious? Like, you want to know,
Curiosity.
you want to know if how things work and why things are a certain way, right? If you buy a new product, new laptop and you find yourself wondering about why is the size like this, why are the keys placed like that, and why is the price a specific price. You find yourself thinking about all of these things. That is one trait of a product manager. You The other trait I would say is product managers in product management, you don't have all the information that you need to make sound decisions or things that you need to do. So there's a lot of uncertainty. You don't know upfront what will happen.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who get nervous about if they don't know everything, they can't proceed. This sort of freeze. So if you are in that bucket, maybe it's not for you. It doesn't mean you can change that, but it's up to you to decide whether you want to be a product manager or not. The other thing I would say is if you are creative, you wonder about certain problems and see how, if the problems were solved, how things could be different. If you find yourself thinking about a product, if this was different way, I would be able to use it much better. If it was lighter, it would solve some problem for me. If you find yourself wondering about problem solving and alternate ways of doing things, that's another interesting trait to have. And finally, I would say if you like to hear about different perspectives, like to talk to people and hear their viewpoint, and being able to change your opinion or thinking based on others' viewpoint, that's also an interesting or important trait.
No, interesting. So curious, flexible, like listening, bringing people together, things like that, right? It's a lot of. Okay, awesome. So now you've been doing product management for, God knows, like a lot of years. So what do you really enjoy, like being a product manager? What do you really like being a product manager?
So I think what is very fulfilling in product management is there's a lot of scope for innovation. You can apply your creative thinking and solve a lot of different problems. So that is definitely one of the most important reasons that I am in product management. The other thing is in technology product management, just the chance of working with latest technology before it's out even in the market, anybody else.
Yeah, I know you've always been very geeky.
I enjoy that part. So that is very, very fulfilling.
Nice.
Personally.
Awesome. So now we know what is product management, what it takes to become a product manager. What do you like about being product manager? Now let's rewind a bit. Let me take you to 13-year-old Prateek. Right, you're in high school, just started high school. Help students understand, what were you like in high school? What did you like to study? What did you do after school? Fun things like that, so people can understand how you spend your time in high school, and maybe there are things they can take it from there.
Okay. Yeah, in high school, I would say I liked studying math and science. Those were two subjects that I used to like. I was not perfect or great student. I mean, not the top student in those, but I found those always interesting. So I always focused a little bit more on understanding rather than scoring. And I think that worked out okay for me. And the other thing I would say is I enjoyed the labs, the practical parts of the science, like going to the chemistry lab and physics lab and doing some experiment. That was always interesting. And after school, I would play with friends, hang out with friends, like many of us do, or I'm sure the kids today also do that.
Right.
Play cricket or go to video game parlor. I didn't have a console at home, so I had to go to a parlor to play.
Nobody
games.
had that time, yeah.
And the other thing I remember was I would sometimes try to fix things at home, like a TV remote control or some other motor or machine that I could get my hands on. And I was fortunate that my parents did not ever question, like, or consider or say that don't open this or don't, you might break it further. So I was always allowed to play with things and try to fix those. So that was interesting. And I would say that the other things, perhaps drawing and painting, even though I studied art.
You're creative, huh?
I mean, I studied math and science. I also like to do painting and drawing. So I was inclined a little bit toward art as well.
Right. I can't let you go without asking this. Were you breaking things intentionally so that you can fix it, or it was already broken and then you fixed it?
I can't tell you that.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to the your college time, right? So now you finished high school, you're filling applications to apply to different undergrad programs. um, which one did you apply for? Not the college, but like the kind of program you wanted to go in. And what did you study there? Take us through your college journey, right? What did you do in college?
Yeah.
Subjects, outside classes, things, if you were doing things. And then also after undergrad, how was your like first, let's say, 10 years? Where did you end up? What did you do? Things like that.
Okay. First off, I want to say that product management was not a career choice for me at that time. I did not even know what is product management.
Interesting.
And from what I understand, product management as a career did not even exist. It's a relatively new career option. I mean, it's been around for like more than 10-15 years, but still relatively new compared to other functions like finance or marketing. So it is, it's new. And my choice for undergrad was based on a simple fact that I love math and science, and I also like to solve problems and make things. So engineering seemed like a natural choice. So I went into engineering. I studied electrical and electronics engineering, which allowed me to do the things that I liked. And once I got out of engineering, I joined as a software engineer, worked as a software engineer for Tata's and then Hewlett Packard, doing the kind of things that I like building new products, building new things, tinkering with electronics and software. So that was quite interesting for me.
So you like, yeah. So I think what I'm gathering from what you just said is, even though there was no like a function called product management, you were kind of doing things which was product management like, which is like building products and understanding. But I also know that you decided to do MBA after a few years of working. What made you change your mind, and why did you decide to do MBA? Were you missing something in terms of what were you doing, so you had to go and do an MBA? And then second part to that is, because we're talking about product management, a lot of kids we're talking right now, students we're talking about is like high school students, so they have not even gone to undergrad. So are we saying also that to become a product manager, do they all need to be an MBA as well? Do they need to study business?
Yeah, great question. So as I said, I was at Hewlett Packard very young, a few years into job and working as an engineer, tinkering with a lot of new cool stuff that was coming out of HP Labs, and that was my role. Like build out what we built is a product called Digital Entertainment Center at HP. It was the pre-iPhone or iPod era when music was not digital. It used to be on CDs and all, but HP made a digital entertainment center, and I was fortunate to be part of that team. That was very interesting, very fulfilling. We also built things like handheld computers called Jornadas, which were like pre-iPad days. So very, very exciting stuff. As an engineer, as a problem solver, all things were exciting. However, what happened was this digital entertainment center, we worked on it for a year and a half. We launched it in the market, and 2-3 months down the line, it was pulled from stores because it was not selling. Nobody was buying. And that got me thinking that Jornada was a fairly decent success, not a huge success, but we thought it would do much better. And there was a realization that set in that even though we are building the best of products, very cool, innovative technology, the customers are not willing to buy those. That means there's something missing. Either the product is not priced correctly, or maybe some of the other aspects of the product are not right. Maybe it's not being sold or advertised or marketed appropriately. So they got me thinking that, there's something amiss. And then at that time, I figured that actually these decisions are made by somebody else and who's not me. I'm working on a problem that is defined by somebody else. And it motivated me to be in a role or a position where I would define and decide those things. And that's what a product manager is. Right? And I also sort of realized that although I did have a great product building experience, but I had a very limited knowledge about other things like marketing, finance,
Mm-hmm.
economics,
Mm-hmm.
market dynamics. And MBA seemed like the right thing to do at that time, to go acquire that knowledge and then be a product manager. Now, the other question you were asking was, do you have to be a, do you have
Yeah.
to do your MBA
Right. Right.
to be a product manager? Definitely, most definitely not. I mean, I know several people who have not gone through MBA, and generally, I would say is if you have a lot of common sense already,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to your building and curiosity, you don't need an MBA if you can think about some aspects around sales, marketing, just common sense, and apply a lot of that. Or you would always also get those kind of experiences while working in any job,
Mm-hmm.
which requires you to exercise some of those skills. So MBA is good to have. It's not the
No,
most
must have, yeah.
most
Okay, got
critical
it. So if
thing.
you're an engineer and maybe this is, and if you want to become product manager, maybe you can try to do some kind of a project with a product manager team, so you can learn some of the business aspects. You can learn on the job too, or maybe some courses outside. You don't have to go like 2 years out and do a full
Yeah, I
time MBA
mean,
program.
YouTube is a great resource now.
Yeah, that's
Go
a
to
great point.
YouTube, find anything that you want to learn about, and go do that. Spend 10 hours on it. You'll be an expert.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. So thank you for walking us, how you were as a kid and what was your college journey, post college journey, what was your MBA journey look like. Now we come to the most important section, right? What is the key takeaways for people listening to us? Um, if somebody raised their hand sitting there listening, saying, "Oh my goodness, I want to be like Prateek, I want to become a product manager," um, what can they learn from your experience? You started as a builder, then you became an engineer, then you decided to do an MBA. But somebody who's like sure and like, okay, I want to become product manager. What should be they doing in high school? What courses they should be applying in, let's say, in colleges and stuff like that, which will help them fast track, if you will, to become a product manager.
Yeah. So I would say that we already spoke about the characteristics of traits
Mm-hmm.
of a person who can be a great product manager. So definitely exercise those. But in terms of courses, etc., in high school, I think math and science are good subjects to focus on to be a product manager. I'm not saying that the other students cannot become a product manager, but it's a very tried and tested path. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot more people who have math and science background who become product managers. So
Especially in a
it's,
tech company, yeah, I can understand.
especially if you want to be
Yeah.
a product manager in a tech company, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the other things you could also think about is participating in being part of projects in high school that have something to do with making something, like a project
Building
that
something.
allows you to think creatively, build something, solve a problem, reach to the users, present or communicate. If it has all of those elements, that would be very good experience to have as a product manager. And of course, you can also try to see if you can get internships at tech companies. That always helps. If there are opportunities, so do that. Even if it's pro bono, if you're not getting paid, I think it's worth having that kind of experience. And in college, if you are thinking about applying to college or already on path to college, again, engineering is a very tried and tested path to be a product manager. But same caveat, other streams, I know many people who have become product managers, but engineering is a great one. I want to note that it's very rare for anybody to be a product manager right after their college degree directly, even if they're engineer or bachelor's in something else, because product management requires perspective on many different things, not just building, but also sales, marketing, finance, all of that. And a lot of that knowledge, experience, expertise generally comes when you've worked for 2 to 5 years in the field. So I've seen very few people who are product managers right out of bachelor. So it's okay. You get into something, whether you're marketing or finance or an engineer, first 2 to 5 years of career, and then you shift into product management once you have a little bit more understanding of.
And that's maybe the reason some people do like an MBA, so because they can compress some of these learning from professors and others. And one of the things my son does in school is they call it maker mart kind of a concept, right? Where they're basically building some product. I'm sure there are different names in different high schools. So if a high school gives you an option to go and build something, maybe hopefully even sell to a customer, so you can get some experience and feedback. I think that's a great option to pursue as well. So I want to thank you, Prateek, for your time. I know it's very valuable for us, and for you to spending this much time with us, and for our listeners to listen in from your experience. Hope they learned a lot today. Any last piece of advice you have for them?
Yeah, it's been great to be here on this in the show and share some of my experiences with the prospective product managers. One more thing, last thing I can add is there's definitely one more path that somebody could take to accelerate their journey towards in product management career is be an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow.
So if they are inclined towards making, building, and then selling something, being an entrepreneur gets you a lot of experience in a very accelerated manner across various domains. So it's a great path to be a product manager. Maybe you'll be an entrepreneur and you don't need to be product manager anymore. You could get into product management after being.
No, that's amazing. Sitting in Silicon Valley, we couldn't give a better advice. Just be an entrepreneur. With that, I'd like to conclude this episode. If you really enjoyed this episode of Class to Career, please come back and listen us again. If you're a student exploring careers, remember there are multiple ways. I think Prateek said it multiple times. There are multiple ways to become a product manager. This is just one of many, and we are always open to feedback. Give us feedback on this. Let us know what you would like to listen in next. So thank you. Have a good day.